12,000 years ago, after the fall of Atlantis, before Egypt was ever Egypt, and before humans forever expelled the gods and giants, the world was a dark and primitive place. Villages were under the constant tyranny of an ambitious race called the Arianas. Among the scattered survivors, an old pilgrim wandered the wreckage of a razed settlement, weeping for justice. But from beneath a collapsed altar came the cry of a child. Her hair was white as moonstone, just like his, a mark of the gods. He took her in and named her Tanis. Years passed. Tanis grew into a solemn, striking young woman, revered as the village's future elder. She was never to be touched, nor questioned. Divine blood demanded solitude. But Tanis longed for more than sacred titles and isolation. She was always so fascinated with the ancient tombs of Atlantis, resting at the edge of their village. 3 titanic vaults. According to legend, they held the weapons of the giants: knowledge, power, and desire. Artifacts so mighty they shattered the first moon, birthing the river of celestial stones that still fell from the sky like divine wrath. The elder warned her,
"Do not go near the tombs, or ruin will follow."
But night after night, Tanis returned to the tombs. Only her childhood friend Seppi knew. Only he could stop her from going too far. And strangely, only she could open the tomb doors. But one night, her fascination overcame her, and they entered the tomb. To ensure escape, Seppi wedged a fallen celestial stone at the threshold, but the tomb sealed itself shut, crushing the stone and triggering the ancient curse. The sky wept fire. Their village was destroyed. Trapped, Tanis led them deeper into the tomb, the walls lit at her presence. Doors opened as if the tomb welcomed her. At the core, they discovered the resting place of Osiris, a mystical mask hidden within. Only Tanis could lift it. Curious, she placed it upon Seppi. The transformation was immediate. Seppi's eyes blazed with divine wisdom, and he refused to remove the mask when Tanis asked him to. He led her out of the tomb through a secret exit, and they emerged to the village ravaged by the onslaught of celestial stones. When they emerged, the sky was still weeping fire. With a single gesture, Seppi raised his hand and the heavens stilled. Everyone was in awe. The villagers, desperate and enthralled, believed Osiris had returned. Seppi conjured water in the desert, and the people hailed him as God. Everyone except the elder.
"By the sacred Nile, do you respect nothing? As though stealing a mask from a tomb makes you a giant?"
But Tanis stood up for Seppi, and the people embraced him. Word of Osiris's return reached the Arianas. Their warlord Samudrasin saw it as blasphemy and an opportunity. He brought his army to conquer, but Seppi, now drunk with godhood, raised his arms and summoned the stones. The Arianas fell in fire and flood. Samudrasin surrendered, offering tribute, not war. Gold, slaves, power. Tanis and Seppi rejected the slaves, but she accepted a leopard cub, a symbol of strength. But the elder would not accept this. He warned,
"Even peace, when bought by corruption, carries poison."
But Tanis promised she would guide Seppi's rule with mercy. Unable to bear it all anymore, the elder stormed out, leaving the village in anger. Some time passes, and Tanis and Samudrasin get close. He tries to sell her his dream of conquest and expansion through slavery, but she rejects it. It doesn't take long for him to make Tanis fall for him, but Seppi witnesses it all. Later that night, he summons them to the tombs of Atlantis. He shares with them his visions of a better world, a world filled with knowledge and technology more than the world has ever seen. However, to achieve this dream, Seppi decides to buy into Samudrasan's method of slavery.
Seppi, don't do this. Slavery is barbaric.
Tanis protests, but Seppi remained resolute.
Only for a little while. Soon we'll no longer need slaves. I'll grant you power, Tanis. You'll watch over them.
Hearing this, Tanis relented. Surprisingly, he also approved of her union with Samudrasan. Meanwhile, somewhere far away, the elder sought refuge in the sanctuary of pilgrims, but it too was raided. He was taken in chains, just another slave, used for Seppi's ambition of conquest. And when he returned, his worst fear became true. His home had fallen, slaves were abused. The Aryanas ruled beneath Seppi's mask, and Tanis was unaware of the cruelty the slaves faced. He discovered that the guards were actively hiding things from her, so he determined to ensure that Tanis knew of it. Surely, she will put an end to this barbaric behavior. One day, the elder was sent to serve drinks to Samudrasan. There, in the warlord's tent, he saw his worst nightmare. Tanis lying with the enemy. The elder cried in anguish at the sight of his daughter with the enemy. But in fury, Samudrasan drove a spear through the old man's chest. Tanis screamed, but it was too late. Angered, Tanis marches her father's body to the royal court, a long procession behind her, rage barely contained, her mind reeling with the elder's warnings and her regrets eating her up from within. Fearlessly, she marches up to Seppi, ignoring his words of comfort, and rips off the mask from his face. Everyone is surprised by what's left of Seppi's face, and he obsessively demands that his mask be given back. The horror beneath stunned the crowd. Seppi, now a shell of his former self, begged for the mask. Samudrasan, disgusted by his weakness, ordered his men to attack. War broke out. Seppi fell by Samudrasan's spear. Samudrasan reached for the mask, but Tanis was faster. She fled to the tomb, the doors sealed behind her. And, once again, from the skies, the celestial stones returned. Alone, Tanis walked the ancient corridors. She placed the mask upon her face. Knowledge, power, desire, all flooded her mind. But unlike Seppi, she resisted. She removed it and returned it. Outside, the rain of fire continued. Weeping, she cried to the heavens for the rain of fire to end. And so it did. The world was ash. Her father, her friend, her people, gone. She begged the gods to take her too. But a final burst of divine energy shielded her from the storm. In time, the world healed, and the myths began. In her later years, Tanis is regarded as the daughter of the gods and mother of humanity, who was able to master knowledge, power, and desire. The one who saved a world ravaged by the immortals and offered it to mankind.